Okay, but Benji, then we can't be in a position to talk about the deep crisis in Nairobi County without focusing on where the rain started beating us. I mean, this city, from the onset, that was in 1963, say, as illustrated in the Sunday edition of the Daily Nation yesterday, that is Charles Rubia, who at that point, yes, he was the first mayor, that is first leader in Nairobi County. And at the time, that was just some months after independence, he, interestingly, had undertaken the cost of taking a Rolls-Royce car, which costed 217,000 Kenya shillings in 1963. Now, the Nairobi County was borrowing money from London and Berlin, which were established cities. Interestingly, the mayor of London was in a very humble car and was leading a prosperous city, which is the capital of England. That again opened the floodgate of perhaps the inherited chaos that we started on from the onset in 1963. Are we self-reflecting on ourselves as a society?
That's a really good question. I saw the article yesterday in The Nation. And what you're attempting to do, Ayub, is to take a philosophical outlook or analysis of why, Linda, why we have corruption. Because many times people say, oh, there's corruption because ni mali ya umma. There's corruption because people can, because there's no law, because nobody has gone to jail, etc. I think you have to look at the amount of money that was in the 1960s. I know that a house somewhere around Ngong Road in 1980 cost about that much. So this was a lot of money.
In 1963.
Then,
Yeah, in 1963, this could probably buy you 2 houses in Runda today. And this is the cost of a vehicle. You have to look at the inferiority complex that invades a lot of Africans. You know, that they were colonial subjects, and now they're free, and they feel a need to prove that we are independent. How can you prove that we're independent? By riding in a Rolls Royce. By, you cannot become white, but by being greater than the mayor of London. And these are the issues that have dogged us to date. And like Mike is talking about philosophical literacies like
Chinua Achebe.
Chinua Achebe, cause us to reflect when a society, when a man has gone mad, is it enough to say that the man himself has gone mad, or is it a society? A quote to that extent. And so you see then that the whole culture of pilferage, to accompany largesse, to accompany avarice, that started very early on, continues to this date. The numbers that we're talking about in this report are not small numbers. This report, any small money here, Linda, is somewhere in the tune of 40, 50, 60 million. And that's why I'm surprised that the ESCC is charging Governor Sonko with such a small amount, because the discrepancies are huge, and the charges should be very big. And maybe let me underscore, Ayub, as we continue with this argument, that this problem is now is mastecized, definitely, but it's also becoming more complex now.
Okay.
Because of the influx of such things as narcotics. So you risk now going towards the direction of a narco state. Actually, we've seen this script before where Pablo Escobar would manipulate the poor, okay, until they believe in you completely like a god.
Is that the case that we have in Nairobi County? Saying he's Mtetezi.
That's kind of what we're looking at here, and it's for those of us who are exposed and enlightened to, kind of highlight this. Because then what you have is you throw crumbs after stealing big, pretend to care, appear ordinary. It's all very well choreographed and pious, that deep down, you're very kind and religious even.
And philanthropic.
And philanthropic, but really what it is, you're an evil psychopath who can lie, steal, and kill without any compunction, without any regret. And why I say this is because we saw the case with activist Mildred Ati,
Yes.
where allegedly, the governor was using rogue police officers to harass a lady, to arrest her, because she was one of the first to spotlight these issues in the county on the very effective social media platform Buyers Beware. And so he went after her. we all really must be careful because I feel we're treading on thin ice. I feel that if unchecked, with this kind of brainwashing, etc., what's to stop a guy like Sonko from becoming president?
It gets to a point of psychophancy for
and
sure.
It gets to a point of no return.
And no return. And when you look at the downfall of some of these key figures, when you're talking about Pablo Escobar and all that, before the downfall, before, the mess is down on their end, the mess is hugely down on this other side. Yeah. As it is, this morning, most of the people or Nairobians are scared of going even to the CBD because then they are warning shots, of course,
social
coming
unrest,
from psychophans, and social unrest that is based on this. So does it clearly speak of the kind of society that we're in, that poverty has driven us to that point where we care no more, that we'd rather get the breadcrumbs than nothing? Exactly.
That's actually the crux of the matter, is that the kind of theft you're talking about, Ayub, from 1963, the direct result of that is poverty, because you have a skewed distribution of resources. Resources are overutilized and stolen and gorged by the 1% at the top. So they don't trickle down to the bottom. And so over time, you have then structural problems that cause such things as unemployment. You have a growing populace that is just growing every year without commensurate infrastructure and opportunity. And then ultimately then, the people become both desperate, as well as brainwashed, so that they're willing to take the two crumbs, whereas they could have had a system that ensures their own safety and security and even opportunity and work-wise. And so you're very right. You then have these boneheads running around and willing to be tear-gassed and to die for their crook. In fact, I remember, I think it was Sonko who was arrested some years back when he was MP for Makadara. And the media has a clip where some of the young guys came and some were under the influence and they said, "Tupatia mwizi wetu. Tunataka mwizi wetu." At Kibera Lokot, where he was being arraigned. So this might all be a bit humorous, but it's really unfortunate. And one of the people that I must not hesitate to blame for this situation, you talked about the political parties,
yes, and
the political class.
The Jubilee Party primaries of 2017.
Is the president. Is the president. And, he himself had a lot of issues coming into office. And Sonko was one of the guys who would accompany him to
The Hague.
To The Hague. And abuse and insult immigration officials all over the place. And record it all and distribute it all. Ayub, lastly, the thing that really bothers me with this situation is, Ayub, we have kids born in 2002. 2002, when Kibaki was coming in. Mike, those kids are 17 years old today.
They're cleared Form 4, some
they're
of
in
them
Form
are
3,
in Form 4,
they're going to college, they're watching this show. They need examples, they need to be inspired, they need to think right. And all they're seeing is gold-plated cars, AK-47s,
bling bling,
bling bling, stupidity, gold shoes, madness. Those kids, poor kids. What's there tomorrow? And all they hear is Uncle so-and-so is a thief, Uncle so-and-so at the port is a thief, Uncle so-and-so waziri wa maji ni mwizi, governor ni mwizi, former governor ni mwizi. Linda, we have a problem.
We have a problem.